Hey, welcome to the channel. Today, we're going to be talking about, is Gibraltar overpowered? Does he need a nerf? I see a lot, this is kind of like a hot topic right now because I feel like a lot of people believe that he is, in fact, overpowered. Well, I don't think he is. I actually think that he should be the bar as far as where the other legends should be. Do I think that he is overpowered in comparison to the other legends? Absolutely, in some cases. But I think that instead of, nerfing him to bring him down to this like low level, they should bring all the other legends up and make them just as potent. Because like there should be no more nerfs, in my opinion, on any legend. Like no one is overpowered. If Gibraltar is the base, then I think it works great. Because and honestly, he should be a little bit stronger than what your typical legend would be. Because this man is a tank. Like that's his whole setup. In season 0, in the very beginning, he was just like everybody else. He had his gun shield that I think absorbed like 50 damage, and that was it. He had a hitbox 3 times the size as everybody, as the size of Wraith, and he was like a huge moving balloon, and he is still there. And Gibraltar to me isn't harder to kill than he was before. Gibraltar just now requires a strategy when before, you could approach him like any other legend and shoot the crap out of him and boom, he was dead. And now they've, over time, they've given him a few buffs. Initially, it started out with the fortified, which gave him, I believe, 15% extra defense, which is warranted because he's huge. And then after that, he didn't really see a whole lot of buffs up until season 3. At the beginning of season 3 is when he hit his major changes, and then he could throw his dome shield out a little bit further, and he could also throw his barrage a little further, and you then gain the ability of whenever you used any sort of healing item, if you were inside the bubble, the cooldown was a little bit quicker, which I think is great. And now that he has a res ability or a little passive on top, inside the dome, I think that's great too, because that like he is a one-man army, and that's basically what Gibraltar is, and that's in my opinion what he should be considered. He's not difficult. He's a little bit, he's harder to kill than the other legends, just in the basis of in comparison to the other legends. He's not hard to kill by himself. If you take out the low profile of all the other legends that have it, then in my opinion, you improve you decrease the gap there and everything becomes a little bit more even. But I don't think that he needs a nerf. I think that he's overpowered right now in comparison to the other legends, but I don't think that means that you should nerf him. I think everybody else needs a buff, because to me, Gibraltar's sitting like right where he should be. And that dome shield, it's not like an overpowered thing like everyone believes it is, because he can only throw that thing like once every 30, 40 seconds or so. Like once he throws it down, you know that you need to do something. You have a couple of strategies to take out of Gibraltar. It's not as difficult as some may seem as far as how to take him down. So if you see him out in the wild, obviously light that guy up. Like light him up. You can't trade shots with the Gibraltar. Okay, because obviously he's got that shield, and when things get in trouble, he's got his dome shield that he can toss out and then heal up real quick. And while you're pushing, he's going to throw that barrage. So you have to play really smart whenever you go against a Gibraltar, which, in my opinion, that's how it should be from like for every legend. Because the thing about Apex is that it's a team game, but every legend has its own, has their own unique set of skills and has their own unique personality. And that's kind of, Respawn has gone a long way as far as like backstory to give little tidbits and everything like that, and everyone's coming from a different place, and I think that with nerfing him, keeping him where he's at, like that sustains his individuality, because you have to approach him differently than most of the other legends. Now, Caustic and Watson, any trap operator, they have a little bit of feeling like that, because you have to play smart against their traps. You can't just go running in against a Caustic because you're going to get hit with this Caustic gas. But Gibraltar's basically the same thing. And I mean, again, I don't think it's that hard to take out a Gibraltar. Can you like shoot him face to face if you guys are just shooting across like 20 feet from each other? Nah, he's gonna tear you up because he has a gun shield, he has a bonus defense, and you ain't got nothing. So you can't just run and gun against him. And I think that's what a lot of people are having problems with, because if you lower his health, if you take shots at him, right? You see him from afar, take shots at him, lower his health, make him use up some of his heals, just like you would any other legend, and even scare him. If you can get to the point where you scare him and force him to throw out his dome shield, force him to turtle, basically, then you've got it. Have him waste his abilities. Because, and honestly, that really only occurs whenever you have a good Gibraltar. If it's somebody who doesn't play Gibraltar, they throw that dome shield out like crazy. They don't really understand that, hey, man, you got like 40 seconds now before you get that dome shield again. And in that time, that's a lot of time where you can run in and cap them, honestly. Now, if the whole team is together, then you should be playing smart anyways. You shouldn't be attacking the whole team. It doesn't matter if it was a Gibraltar or not. If you got 3 other enemies over there, like, you're not going to bum rush them. But if it's just Gibraltar, or if you knock somebody and then push, like if you knock someone, then boom, here comes the dome shield. Like, you can push some. And in reality, you should be smart and have some grenades on you. And run in that bubble, throw some grenades, man. Run in just enough to where you're inside the bubble, throw a thermite, then run out. It's not difficult. It takes strategy, but it's not difficult to take him down. You can do it. It's something that is easily doable. And once you get in that bubble, like, in all honesty, like, you should target him first. But you can, you can force a revive, because everybody believes, oh man, that revive's so quick now. It's a little bit quicker, yes, but it's still time that takes 2 members of that team out of the fight for a couple of seconds. So if you knock someone, boom, you see that dome shield, you push. If you hear a barrage, obviously, man, hold off, or go around it and push the crap out of that. Now, in reality, that dude's probably going to be up again if you hear that barrage. But again, you just have to adapt. That's like the key point, is that Gibraltar requires adaptability. He's got a bunch of tools at his disposal, but at the same time, once he uses them, he uses them. You're not gonna see that barrage again. Make him waste that barrage, bait him into throwing it, bait him into throwing that dome, bait him into a res, and you just have to outplay Gibraltar. That's it. Like, again, you can't go one-on-one, face-to-face with him, because you're probably going to lose every time. Like, 80% of the time, you're going to die. And I understand that, and that's frustrating. But you have to learn to have the placement advantage as far as where you are in the map and where you're located. Height is always a plus. You always want to be the guy on top, not the guy underneath in the valley. And shoot his legs, shoot his head, shoot his back, throw grenades at him. He can't block grenades. I mean, yeah, he can throw that dome shield out, but that little gun shield, man, start carrying some grenades, thermite him. You can't do anything about that. Like, you can't. Those things are not defendable enough to the point where they're useless. They're extremely useful against a Gibraltar, and I don't know, man. I don't have a problem killing a Gibraltar. I see where he's strong. And I see that, he's definitely not somebody that you can just run up to and pop. But at the same time, you can still pop him, and you can outplay him. And I think that's where a lot of the problem comes, because I don't think he needs a nerf. I think nerfing him would be pointless. I think nerfing him would just, that sends the wrong message. Like, that would just mean anytime, like, a character gets a little stronger, has really good abilities, like, oh, we're gonna nerf him now because the community finds it hard to kill him, when he's not hard to kill. But at the same time, everybody else needs to be buffed to his level. I do agree that he is stronger in comparison to the other ones, but I also feel he should be a little bit stronger anyways, but he shouldn't be, to the point where he is now. Like, if he's at like a 10, most of the other legends are at like a 5 or a 6, when everybody else needs to be about an 8. Like, it needs to be a little bit of improvement for everyone else, in my opinion, but I don't think you should be nerfing Gibraltar. I want to know what your thoughts are. what are your comments? Let me know down in the comments section below. Do you think Gibraltar's overpowered? Do you think he's fine where he is? Do you think it's just crazy? Do you think that obviously a developer has taken to Gibraltar as a main and no one's noticed yet and they're just buffing him to death? Or what do you think will happen? Me, again, I think everyone else needs buffs. I think Gibraltar should be left alone where he is. Let me know if you could smash that like button, hit that subscribe, help a brother out, and stay up to date with all your Apex news and opinions. Thanks for watching.